So
Hey.
you ever listen to a song and like it start getting too good to you, right? So like at first you be like building up a little bit, right? Then you might get your little two step on, right? And then like another and God, you be like,
Hey, yes, indeed. Yes. That happened backstage before people saw what was happening. We was grooving. It was so adorable. So
it was
adorable.
so much fun. We have to find a way to record that
Yes,
because
indeed.
it is a thing. So yeah, y'all. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Life Unfiltered, Heal That Shit, the podcast where we fearlessly navigate the complexities of life, love, grief, and the extraordinary journey of healing. We invite y'all to join us on this raw and unfiltered exploration as we share our personal stories, triumphs, and challenges to inspire and uplift.
Yes, indeed. Because in a world that often encourages us to mask our struggles, we are choosing to lead with love and vulnerability. It is finally time to collectively address our own shit and have some real conversations. So we're here to voice the things that you might not have verbalized or even thought about so we can get to the root and heal.
So 2024, y'all, is the year of popping that shit. And we're over this like being fake humble and trying to act like, oh, I'm not really, that. My cousin had a conversation with me the other day because I had told her that I'm regular. And this was on So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese, which is my podcast with my cousin. And I was telling her, I was like, I'm regular. Like I'm just I'm regular. And then she was like, you are definitely not regular. And I was like, well, like I know I'm not regular, but like I'm just like it's just me. So then she was like, and still though, not regular. So we're working to embrace that, right? And the way that we're doing that is by taking the time to pop our shit and to actually put some respect on our own names.
Period,
So,
Pooh.
my name is Kim. I am an educational advocate, activist, and consultant. I am a visionary and motivational speaker. I'm a virtual producer, network executive. I am a certified intuitive melanated life coach. I help people develop a deeper relationship with God and really understand their God-given purpose and how they're supposed to positively impact the world. I'm a professional frolicker. I am an expat. So I currently live in Medellin, Colombia, in South America. And I am one of your hosts. What up?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, my name is Bianca. I'm a digital strategist, a consultant, an education activist, and a certified snitch.
Snitch.
Yes, indeed. I am a private investigator and a receipt collector, so please put some respect on my name. I'm also the founder of Teaching for the Culture, where we transform, we empower, we advocate, we coach, and heal. I'm also an intuitive, melanated life coach and a digital nomad currently working and traveling wherever there's Wi-Fi. Currently, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am empowering others to find their own path to freedom and fulfillment. And so we operate by three keys here, okay? Listen and listen good.
Please.
Accountability.
Please. Take notes if necessary.
Please.
Okay. Underscore bold print.
Oh my God.
Tune in here. Turn up the volume. Put a pin here. Okay.
Please.
All right.
So we operate by three keys again, and that is accountability, transparency, and integrity. Okay. So before we go further, we want to make sure that we're very clear about the expectations, what you can expect from us and what we can expect from you. So what you can expect from us honoring the three keys. We're going to keep it real. We're going to speak freely. We're going to cuss if and when we feel like it. So if you have young listeners that are around you, you might want to grab some AirPods, some headphones, or maybe not. That's your business. But we just want to let you know that we are going to be free in this space and want you to be free in this space as well. And what we can expect from you. So hate speech and comments are not welcomed here. We believe in the Block and Be Blessed ministry. Okay. Let me make sure I say that clear so everyone understands. We believe in the Block and Be Blessed ministry. Okay. So please engage with us. Go on this journey with us. We are not experts, but we are facilitating the conversation. And we want you to participate in this journey and bring people with you because together we are committed to doing the work to heal. So, what updates do you have for this episode?
So I want to make sure that I continue to remind us about our emojis, right? We are making some connections that are appearing out of the atmosphere, right? So we want to make sure that when y'all see us out here in these virtual spaces, that the people know that y'all's connected with us. So our community emojis are the heart with a bandage on it, and then either a green, blue, or purple heart. Okay, that is how people will know. So it's a combination, but you got to have the heart with the bandage. All right. So that's our community emojis. And then we also have individual emojis. So my individual emojis are the crayon and the sunflower because I'm out here trying to color the fuck out this life. Okay. So
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
out here, got my yellow glasses on. Okay. I'm ready to get it popping. All right. So those are our emojis. And here are yours.
Yes, indeed. I have the teddy bear because it's teddy bear season and there is so much love out here and so much love to receive and give. And of course, the heart with the hand. If you know my story in regards to my heart, you know how serious this is. So thank you for honoring our emojis. They mean a lot to us. And again, I was very thankful to see some of those in the comments last episode. So we welcome that and thank you again for that.
It's like giving us like a special heart, like a supercharge is how it feels when we see
It
those.
makes me feel good.
Yeah, like, oh man, that came from a special place. Like they're taking that time. So
Mhm.
please do make sure that you let us know that you're a part of this community by doing that. Also want to make sure that y'all connected to us on all the social spaces and things. We are at Heal That Shit on everything. So make sure that you are connected to us there. You've liked, you subscribed, you've done all the things and the things and the things. The other thing, though, that I wanted to say is we had started doing this Pop That Shit challenge, right? And we were like, every day in the month of April, like we gonna pop our shit and whatever. And then we had talked, me and Bianca, and we was like, why are we limited into April? Like, why are we pop your shit every day? Okay. So that's
Period.
what we are just wanting to revamp that. Okay. Put a little edit and a little razzle dazzle on. We popping our shit every day. Okay, we popping our shit every day.
Yes,
So
indeed.
make sure that as you are thinking through the amazing things that you're doing in your life, hashtag us and pop your shit. Okay. Hashtag pop that shit. Okay. And if you don't want to type out shit, then you can do hashtag pop that ish.
Mhm.
It still counts. All right. So so also I want to make sure that we mention if you are listening to this and you are not watching, so you have the ability to watch over on the YouTubes and the Facebook. And but if you are not, if you're listening to this, where can they find the podcast audio version?
Absolutely. So you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and so much more. If you visit our website at wehealthatshit.com, you'll actually see a link of all of the different players that we are on. And that list is forever growing. So thank you. We actually received several Google reviews. I'm sorry, not Google reviews, Apple Podcast reviews of people saying great job and giving us 5 stars. And we welcome that. So please continue to show us love with the rating system by liking, by subscribing, by commenting. All of that engagement matters. And we want to hear from you. And we thank you in advance for supporting this programming and what we're bringing to y'all.
Did you have that locked and loaded, girl? You turned that radio voice on.
We ready. We ready.
Me voice over. Oh, yes,
We are
indeed.
ready.
I'm here for it. So, you know what I'm ready for? I'm ready to get into the things, okay? Because we really haven't had a chance to talk We both of us just kind of been all over the place with the things. So I want to do a quick spirit check, and then I want you to catch me up and me to catch you up, and we catch the people up, because I'm sure it's a lot to be caught up on. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So let's do our spirit check. And basically, y'all, spirit check is just a moment for you to check your spirit and just really center in on how your spirit is feeling in this current moment. So we do it on a color system here. So green, I'm absolutely wonderful. Life is great. Blue, I'm good. I don't have any complaints. Purple, I'm okay. Things could be better. Or yellow, I'm not doing so well. I need support. So search your spirit and let us know. If you're watching live, feel free to drop it in the comments. Otherwise, you can do this spirit check whenever you're listening to us or watching us, and you can still tell us.
Ooh. So right now, I'm green. Like I feel green, right? Um, and then as I start to kind of process all of the things that are surrounding me that some people just don't know, then we start tipping into the bluish purple color. I am at peace sitting here on this podcast. I love this safe space. I love interacting with you. I love and enjoy people that look up to this podcast, that watch this and will tell us and affirm us that we are on the right direction of just helping people heal and live their best lives. But also, my spirit is heavy. I'm tired. I'm on the cuffs of the burnout. But just again, boundaries of making sure I don't get to that point because I continue to uplift, that it hits different for me. I have to go my own pace.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where my spirit is. It is a mix of all of these colors.
Mm. I was wondering how you were going to answer that. And I'm going to say that I am very proud of the emotional integrity that you just chose in acknowledging, because I know like a lot of times you try to keep yourself in this space of it's gonna like it's all right, like it's okay, like it's all right, it's okay. And I know we talk about like it's okay to not be okay. But then also we don't all the time be feeling like acknowledging that we're not okay, because then it's other stuff that comes with that. But I appreciate you choosing emotional integrity in that moment, because I was just wondering, I was wondering how you were going to frame it.
Yeah, and you have an advantage that a lot of people don't have as far as the level of access and knowledge of what's happening in my world. So with you knowing a lot of the stuff that's happening, you know that your girl is tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. But also there are people that are counting on us.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that are happening that need to get done. And in that, just balancing the spirit. And so I thank you for affirming me in this transparency of sharing my spirit and how I feel. And I'm wondering how you're feeling.
Well, thank you for asking, and also thank you all in the community who are listening and watching, for holding space for that and for the honesty of it all. Like the reason when I was like these three keys though is because lately we've been having some misunderstandings and not understandings of what these words mean. So one of the things about those three keys, accountability, transparency, integrity, is that that's what the standard we hold ourselves to. And we said when we came into this space that we weren't going to make this a production, right? Or like a performance, or like this is real life. But even still, there are times I think that we are challenged with that, right? Of do I? Because it's so easy to just be like, all right, everything is wonderful, life is
Mhm.
good. And also when I get off of here, I'm about to go cry and like try to get my shit together. So I just wanted to acknowledge that because I think that that means something, you know.
Thank you, bestie.
My pleasure. So, how am I doing? So, I am very green today. I'm absolutely wonderful. Life is great. I am going to, if it's okay, kind of roll into the transparency moment of it all
Mhm.
because it really goes into why I've been feeling so wonderful lately. So, I went back to our do I want to say that part yet? I'm not gonna say that part yet. I'm not, well, I'll say it, but then I'm gonna tell you about it later. I went back and I watched our first episode, and it was like 3 months ago. And I was still in Mexico. I was like, so knowing all of the things that have happened since then
Mhm.
and where my life is now in comparison to then, and like I guess this was at the top of the year. So as the month of January progressed, how things got progressively and progressively worse. Um, I'm just in this space of gratefulness and gratitude that I was able to get back here to Colombia and not just get back here, but feeling comfortable in my body, feeling comfortable in my home. I successfully moved into my main bathroom. So, for anybody who might be joining us new, I live with OCD. And it is something that I battle with bathrooms. And as you can imagine, we use bathrooms a lot. And therefore, it is a constant trigger. So, I've talked about it many times, many times. But one of the things in this new apartment that I moved into this apartment in March, and I have been trying to work my way into my main bathroom. And now I like look forward to going in there. I have the music set up. I got my lights. You know how we have my lights. I got the
Yes, indeed.
eucalyptus in the shower, baby. Listen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That deserves a round of applause. Yes, ma'am. You gonna get your flowers today, baby.
I am so proud of myself that because what I used to do is I would judge myself so harshly about why do bathrooms like trigger me, basically, like what the hell is wrong with you type of thing. And I stopped looking at it like that. And I just started looking at it as there are certain things that I need to have in place in order to feel comfortable. And I am going to create comfort in my life and I'm going to create peace in my life. And if anybody cannot understand that, then you can exit my life because I felt like I was spending a lot of time explaining myself, which made me feel like I was justifying my existence. And I I don't want to feel that way, because my existence doesn't need to be justified.
Mhm.
So I really had to like kind of shift the way that I looked at um the way that my brain works. Let's just say that I had to shift the way that I looked at how my brain works so that I'm able to accept myself for who I am without harshly judging things that I do or things that I might need in order to feel safe. And bathrooms was one of those things, right? So the other thing is that I be struggling to eat, right? And I had some friends that came in town, and one of my friends, I've known her since high school, so we've known each other since we were 14. Same homeroom, like all the time, right? And then she has a best friend that is like in her current life. So the two of them came together, and Angel and Keandra. And Angel I have told her she needs to put this on her Instagram page now. She is an international private chef.
Mhm.
Bianca, when I tell you your girl was eating 3, 4, 5 times a day,
Yes, indeed.
Bianca, I'm talking now. Granted, it's absolutely wonderful when somebody is making food for you, and all you got to do is come and sit
Period.
down. Hello,
Yes.
private chef. Okay,
Yes, indeed.
that makes it very, very achievable to be able to
Mm-hmm.
eat. But it was so crazy because, like, we had one day we had like a breakfast scramble, and when I'm saying scramble, so all the meals were vegan. All of the meals were vegan, no meat, no dairy, none of that. Okay. So we had like a breakfast scramble that morning. Then for lunch, we had black bean and plantain quesadillas. Then we had maybe curry, chickpeas for dinner. Then we had Nutella and plantain quesadillas for dessert. Girl,
Yes, ma'am.
girl, and I was eating it all. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Y'all, this is the thing. Up until this point, probably for almost the last year, and it's crazy like how the anniversaries of things are coming up, and I know you're going to talk about that in a second, but it's crazy how a year ago I was eating plenty this time. And then July forward, it was like, what is food? So I did not even think that I was able to eat that much. Like, I was like, I don't know where you think I'm going to put all of that, ma'am. I don't know. And it all went down and it was all good. And I didn't feel like crap afterwards. Like, it has been so beautiful. So the after effects on that is one, I had leftovers, okay? And I'm not above leftovers, okay? Your girl knocking it all down. You hear me? So I got
Period.
leftovers, but also it's really inspired me to try some new recipes. So that black bean, it's a black bean in plantain quesadilla, baby. That thing is on rotation. You hear me? I done gotten here and I done made some fresh guacamole. Okay, girl.
Okay.
Girl, with some patacones on the side. Baby,
Can't tell
your
you
girl
nothing.
your girl been in here stepping it up. You understand it to you.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Chefing it
Yes,
and
ma'am.
eating it. Okay. So it has been
Mm.
absolutely phenomenal. And with them being here, it also allowed me to reach out to some community that I've been developing here in Medellin.
Mhm.
And it feels like this is the first time where one of my friends here, she does my nails. She was like, you should do a housewarming party because, I'm, in a new apartment or whatever. This is the first time that I've ever been like, I might just do that. And also, there are probably people who would come because before this, my circle was so small here in Medellin, like tiny. And now I'm outside. Okay. So not just that I'm eating, I've been outside. So today
Yes,
I
indeed.
went and talked to a group of students from St. Augustine University in North Carolina. Okay. And so you remember Royal that we had connected with, right? So
Yes.
we, Bianca and I, are going to be hosting two interns from the school that are going to stay here and work with us. They're going to be here in Medellin. So we're like developing and we all like in the lab, like, oh, this is going to be so fire, like all of this, right? So, so there's a larger group of students though that is here. So today they had this entrepreneur, like an entrepreneur panel kind of. So it was myself and three other folks that were speaking. And I shared, like why I'm here in Colombia, basically, right? Like you got to give the cliff notes. So I had to swing through Tammy Schamberger right quick, right, roll out of that, hit up, Pennsylvania, just slide out of that. Like it was a whole lot of I'm just giving y'all the big rocks because it's been a lot. So I'm sharing all the things with them or whatever. And so it reminded me why we do what we do
Mm.
because I think this kind of goes back to the regularness of it all. in my daily everyday life, I think I have been trying to be regular because it'd be a lot. Like when we really be in the midst of what we're doing, like it just be a lot, right? So I want to just unplug and be regular. But I also sometimes believe that. So then I forget who I am in some ways, right? Because I'm just being regular, right? And then I show up and I start talking, and then people be like, "Oh my God, who is what
Yes,
did
ma'am.
she did what with who to who with when and what?" And then like I forget, like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. So I'm like in this phase of remembering to embrace that, but also like, and this is what I say. This is what I say. I also didn't necessarily realize how much words, when used properly within their literal context, how much words can heal, right? What's it say? Sticks and stones would break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And that is just such a lie. Like
Right.
everything about that is just a lie, right? So if words can hurt, words can also heal. And what happened after I finished speaking is we had the call, right? So I had to like hurry up. So now I'm like across the street like a stalker, like on Zoom, trying to talk to the client. Like it was a lot. It was a lot going on, right?
It was like you handled it though. You handled it though.
I was flag surfing it out. I was like, okay, yeah, all right. Oh, we're taking pictures. Okay, hold on. Yes, I absolutely hear you. And also I am listening. And I need you to know. Y'all ready? Cheers. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
it was a lot. But anyway, right after and during all that time, what the students were saying to me was that they needed to hear what I was saying. They were like, oh my God, like you, because I told them, I said, if I could save y'all 20 years, baby, take this time, save. You understand me? It's like if I can shave off some time and y'all don't even get up in this foolishness of this system, please listen to the wisdom. So they were like so receptive. And this one young man walked over to me and he was like, you are dynamic. You. And he was like, I'm not just saying this to you. Like, I need you to understand. He said, you walk into rooms and people listen, like you show up and people are, wow, the energy that you give. He was like, it's different, it's peaceful. Like you are really something. And it's not the first time I've heard that. But I don't think I lead with that sometimes because, again, I'm trying to be regular because the bigness of it all can be very overwhelming. But in that moment, I think the connection that it made for me was like, these are the young people that we've been saying that we want to inspire to speak and to advocate and to give them platforms to be able to share their experiences and to document history and to affect change. Like these are the people that we've been praying for. And it like just all landed on me in like just a lot. Like it was a lot because I was like, oh my God, like this is literally a group of university students that have graduated, about to come out into the workforce, or are about to graduate. And if we can get them now and help them understand who they are and the impact that they have, like, and also prepare them for the fuckery that comes with it all, like the realness of the fuckery that comes with it all, they're gonna be unstoppable.
Yes, indeed.
So that's why I am stupendous, because I think I was reminded of the mission, you know?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Well, one, I've been enjoying the photos of the food, and I am very proud of you. And also, just with the connections that are happening and the alignment that is continuing to show, I am so grateful and thankful for you and all that you do to shine a light in sometimes the darkest time, hours, spaces, and still shining your light bright. And so I want to give you your flowers for that,
I
because
appreciate
it
that.
takes a very strong person to do that and to be that in the midst of it all. And so I'm excited for the students that are there with you, and just the whole experience of you um, navigating that space. And then we're literally dealing with some devastating things that are happening in local school districts, where we're fighting and advocating for educators to make sure that they're not retaliated against and
Right,
abused in the system, while all they're
right.
trying to do is advocate and to be their best self for children, right?
Yep.
And so, as you're talking about full circle anniversaries and whatnot, I'm very thankful that I'm able to have this opportunity to share about the different things that I've been going on and dealing with. But I do have a question for you before I transfer to me.
Okay.
As far as the different meals that you've been eating, has there
Uh-huh.
been something that has been your absolute favorite?
My absolute favorite. That's a good question. And I have a question for you too. Also, I want to find a picture so I can show it on the screen, because they're I don't know if they're the advisors or chaperones or whomever, but one of them was on. She was my soror, Latasha girl. Hey girl. Absolute favorite. I think, I love Mexican.
Mhm.
It's the black bean and plantain quesadillas, but with the guacamole, like the guac. But this the other thing I want to try too, that she had did one time, and she did like a mango tomatillo situation. It was
Mm,
girl. Listen,
okay.
I'm trying to apply pressure so that she'll do a cookbook, because what she be saying is she doesn't measure. And I'm like, you ain't got to measure. Okay. You tell people what the ingredients are, what order they need to put it in or whatever, and then you let the ancestors guide them. Okay. That's all you do. You see. So I've been trying to like get her to do it. So me and my cousin, me and Kalanda was plotting the other day, because that's how me and Kalanda cook too. So I was like, what if me and Kalanda do a cookbook, and then we be
Mm,
like, Angel, don't you want to submit some recipes? And then we get her in there like that, right? Or she could veganize all the recipes that we have, you know.
mm,
So
mhm.
that's the plan right now.
Okay. You got a
Yeah,
master plan over here, and I'm here for it.
have a master plan, because when I tell you I was in here eating, okay, that is just stellar in itself. But yeah, so I'm gonna find this picture, y'all. When I find it, I'm gonna put it up. But also, this is what I want to ask you, because this is what one of the students asked me. She said, out of everything that you've been through, because I know you about to go down your journey. She said, out of everything that you've been through, what would you say has been your biggest lesson up to this point? And I told her that mine was follow your intuition and listen, because God is actually talking like all the time. So I wonder what you would say is the biggest lesson as you're walking through this year. What year? How many? That was 2019.
2019.
So this 4 years,
5.
5 years. You understand the question?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I do. It is being unapologetically you and choosing peace always.
Mm.
And that's tough. Choosing peace when you don't want to,
You
it's
choose a
tough.
lot of peace. I'm gonna say that you way more peaceful than me, because I be like, burn it down. Y'all could be like, Kimberly, it's not worth it. I'd be like, I'm sick of you being the one. Always got to be the bigger person. Fuck that. Girl. Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Choosing peace when you don't want to. That's a battle. That's a battle. But you know what? I like sleeping at night with peace. I like the fact that I said what I said. And if I said something incorrect, I'll be accountable for it. I'll be transparent about it, and I will operate with integrity moving forward. I sleep knowing that I've done all that I can. And there's some people that are unable to sleep well at night. And you will start to see as more people are starting to be exposed in this season of exposure. It's happening, folks. There are things that are being exposed left, right, up, down, inside, outside. Is being exposed. So, like my grandma always taught me, what's done in the dark will always come out in the light. And I'm a shine bright. So, whew. Living, loving, and healing has been the season for me, Kimberlyn. And I mean these three things wholeheartedly. I want to live, and I want to live for me. There's been times where I would live for others and do things to help others live in the best way, but sometimes that would come at my detriment.
I feel like it was always at your detriment. I'm sick of it.
I love you, bestie.
Because I be mad. Y'all don't understand. I be like, okay, Bianca, because right, we life coaches and like the vibes and peace and whatnot. And also those sometimes you got to cut somebody out. Sometimes you got to rattle them off. Sometimes some things got to be said. You understand me? So I am that person where I'm like, let's go. I heard you was talking about, you was looking for me. Here I go.
Uh-oh.
But you were saying sometimes you got the short end of the stick or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just in the season where I just want to be loved. And I want to give love and receive love. And I have been. It feels great. It feels good. It feels wonderful waking up and receiving messages of affirmations and love and prayers that I'm gonna have an amazing day. It feels good to be wanted, to be desired, to be cared for in the way that I am. It feels amazing to be in this space. And during this healing process, I've had to really be intentional with that. Being intentional with loving others without losing myself, loving others, making sure that I'm accommodating what they desire, but also keeping my desires front and center.
Right.
It is a balancing act. And I will say that I'm just very grateful. I'm grateful for the people that are in my village. If it wasn't for my village, I don't know where I would be. And I'm grateful that you are a part of that village, Kimberlyn. You know some of the deepest, darkest things that have happened to me that no one would ever know unless I spoke about it. And there are things that I intentionally don't speak about. In that, family is so important, whether it's the family that you're born into or the family that you create. I am so thankful for the bonding that I've had with my family during this season, which is actually making me very emotional right now. So if you see my eyes just watery, just, grab some tissue for me. And send me teddy bears and hearts, because this is something that is very deep and passionate for me. Um, I've had some loss, and we're actually attending a service for my auntie tomorrow morning. And my auntie was a bonus mother to me when my mom died when I was a little girl. And how this is all around Mother's Day weekend. When I tell you the emotional taxing that I've felt in regards to grieving my own mother, losing a bonus mom that came into the picture and was always in the picture, but our relationship transformed after my mom died. And then with the health and the challenges that we're dealing with, I'm grateful. I thank God. I thank God that I'm here to still tell my story. I thank God that I'm here to provide love to my family and my loved ones that need it during this time. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that my father is alive. I am grateful that I have my village. All of this is coming full circle because this is Teacher Appreciation Week. 5 years ago, I wrote an article that ended up becoming viral with the Tampa Bay Times about my reasons for wanting to leave the education system because it was not sustainable. How I was in the classroom doing everything that I could to teach our babies how to code and how to make designs in Canva and how to make their own stream of income by being creative. And the stuff that's happening in our school system, and this was pre-COVID. So just imagine the things that are happening after lives have been torn apart, changed forever after the pandemic. I am just grateful to just continue to be in this fight, to continue to be in this work, and to continue my promise that I made to my students in room 410. Because I told them that I was going to continue to keep pressure on Hillsborough County Public Schools until the system gets better, and still go to school board meetings, watching school board meetings and the stuff that is happening. I need people to pay attention. I need you to know who is running for office. I need you to know the decisions that are being made at these school board meetings. I need you to have relationships with these educators and the support staff that are on these campuses, and not have selective outrage and participation in regards to our education system. Not only am I looking at Hillsborough, I'm looking at Leon. They just bought $100,000 logo. A logo. It looks like clip art, Kimberlyn. The logo looks like clip art. $100,000. Meanwhile, you got buildings that are flooded in Tallahassee. The kids can't access the buildings, neither can the principals and the administrative staff.
That's wild.
Hillsborough County, they out here fighting to get these different K-8 schools all over the place because parents don't want to go to the zone middle school. But the paper just published they just published something about how they have so many DNF schools. We've
I
been
saw
talking about
that.
that for
But
years.
it's been more, right? It was like 33 or something like that. And it
It's
looks like the trend shifted to like South County. Like I was looking at it the other day and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is a lot."
it's so much that's happening. So much. And so we we get messages from educators that are dealing with obstacles in the school system, just like I've dealt with obstacles in the school system. If you know my story, you know what happened and what is currently happening. And our educators, they deserve so much. They do. And I just want to just give love and take this moment of privilege during my transparency moment to uplift the educators and the support professionals that are in the field, that are
Yes.
doing the work,
Yes.
because
It is
the
not
stuff
easy.
is not. And the stuff that I was talking about was pre-COVID.
Correct.
And so I am just full of emotions with everything that's happening with grieving and healing and loving and just living. And I really hope and pray that the people that are listening and watching understand my passion when I talk about school board politics and when I talk about the education system. I made a promise to my babies in 410. And I'm going to continue to uplift that. And I'm going to continue to advocate. And seeing how this journey has been 5 years.
That's crazy.
5.
Does it feel like it was yesterday for you? Like, does it feel like that much time has passed?
It didn't. It felt like, especially with I was explaining to someone in my orbit about some of the complexities of what we were dealing with and experiencing, because I don't think that people really fully understood the magnitude of all of the things that were happening, that were trying to attack and kill our spirits and souls just for advocating for the betterment of our children.
So, can we quantify for anybody who might be listening, right? Who's like, I have no idea what y'all are talking about, and y'all are speaking very cryptically. And we don't mean to. We're not like, we're trying not to, because when we start telling stories, it winds up being is a continuous thing. So then it'd be like hours. So I'm interested in how you were explaining the magnitude of, like, how did you conceptualize that for this person to understand? What types of things did you share?
So I shared with them that in this advocacy, when I first spoke about what was happening with the school district,
Uh-huh.
that the school district decided that they wanted to say that the reason why I was having this conversation was in regards to my GK scores, which
Mm-hmm.
was moot, which was irrelevant.
GK is general knowledge. That's a test that has to be taken for certification in Florida. It's a general knowledge test. Go ahead.
And so I just felt like, one, no one asked y'all for that information. Number two, why did y'all do that? But again, that goes to the culture of the district, that they
Right.
are so wanting to protect their image than to actually deal with what is happening, because they
And
didn't
also
refute.
releasing private information, that because
Correct.
that was not public information that you had consented to having put out.
That is correct.
Gotcha.
And it was really sad because I was like, they are trying to discredit me, although I can go take this test again and pay money, which the pass rate of the test is a whole nother discussion.
Hmm. Hmm.
It is literally educators taking this test multiple times
Right. And
for
failing, failing.
corporation to, like, it's below the 50s pass rate.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I just is it's just wild. It is wild that that happened to me. And then I was sharing with the person in my orbit that in that you had people from all walks of life that maybe or maybe not been in the classroom have so
Hmm.
much to say,
Hmm.
and having to receive all of that. I was sharing with them that I was called everything but a child of God, that there was a fake page that was created to torment to cyberbully, to harass the very individuals that were speaking about what is happening in our school system. And I haven't been in the system after COVID.
Mhm.
So, to my mom's point, my bonus mom that's in the comments, the stuff that's happening
Correct.
after COVID,
Correct.
it's mind-blowing. Just trying to get our students to get a quality education. You have some schools where they have no teachers and they're being provided worksheets.
Oh, I definitely believe that. I have zero problem
But
with that.
but what I was sharing with them was that it was everything to discredit, it was
Mhm.
everything to torment, it was everything to cause harm and to not move the work forward, which is we need equity in education. We
Mhm.
need to make sure that we are paying our teachers the way that we need to pay them. And that is from the representatives that are representing and serving us. And that goes to the local people, such as the principals and the school administrators, all of them, everybody, and to the parents. Like everyone is involved in all of this.
Correct. All
Um,
stakeholders.
so to sum all of that up, because that was a lot, and I had a lot of different tangents that happened. And a part of that is I have memory gaps due to trauma.
Mm.
And sometimes when I share all the things that happen, my mind just goes to spinning because of the stuff that was said and the stuff that when I was in the hospital recovering from having open heart surgery, a fake page was saying that the reason why I am fighting for my life was because I was causing so much harm in the Tampa Bay area for speaking out about what was happening in our school system. The things that they said to me while I was healing,
Yeah.
when I asked for a divorce and left that situation, how that was then posted on the page. And it was a lot, folks. A lot. I am still actively processing that. I am still going through that process of sometimes I just block it out, to be
Yeah.
honest, because it's a lot.
Mhm.
I just thank you for the safe space and just talk and to just let that out because I think people should understand that there is a price to advocacy.
Yes.
And that is circling with some of the conversations that we've had on this podcast in previous episodes with different people that are in the fight,
Mhm.
that are just trying to advocate for people and advocate for what they feel is best and what they believe. And the things that people will say and do, it's just really sad. And so when you said sticks and stones may break my bones and words will never hurt, you're right. It's a lie because those words did hurt me. They broke me.
Mhm.
And to see some of the things that was posted on that page in particular and some of the people that were egging it on and responding back and commenting on this page, it was just something for me to note and something where I was like, I have to choose peace
Mhm.
because what I wasn't going to do was end up back in the hospital due
Mhm.
to stress because I've been there, done that. And I refuse to do it again with God's help and guidance. And that is choosing peace always. And so I'm going to sleep good at night. I'm going to sleep good at night knowing that I'm doing the best that I can in the capacity that I have. In the midst of everything going on, I'm glad that this is a full circle moment. I'm glad to be able to say in these 5 years we've been able to get rid of school board members that were not serving our children the best. I'm glad that I'm able to say that we've had some amazing school board programming. I'm able to say that we have attended IEP meetings and 504s meetings for students to help them on this journey. And I'm just excited for the work that will continue.
Yeah. I thank you for quantifying that, because even still, I want y'all to know that was still the light version of what happened, right? And I know that neither of us have really processed the totality of that time period, right? I was sharing with the students today, and I did find that picture. So let me share it real quick too. So I was sharing with the students today who are here
Aww.
in Medellin, that there is a price, to this, and understanding the power that they have within their hands to be able to affect change and to create lives that they don't necessarily have to heal as much from. Um, I told you I kind of drove by 2019. I was like, yeah, and it was a school board member, and then tried to get me fired, and then did get me fired, and then went to Pennsylvania, and then I left, and it was traumatic. It was just literally just like, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. And I told him, I was like, we have this culture where we continue to keep it pushing. Everything is about keeping it pushing, keep it pushing, keep it pushing. And that is what leads to burnout. And that is why I watch you so closely, why some of my other friends I watch so closely, because I have been trying to heal from that. And I know what that feels like. I also understand the responsibilities that we have to others. But I'm always be here to remind you that you have to come first. So I am that friend that's that I'm willing to say that they put me on the phone with them. Okay. I'll tell them what did need to be said, because I remember, and that's why I said, like, this time of year, I think for us, and a lot has happened in this past year that we haven't processed. Right. And I know that
Yeah.
these moments are going to continue coming up. So I want us to be very intentional about honoring that emotional integrity, and also making sure that we are holding space for however we might process that. Because within days of each other, both of us, our whole world's changed. So, acknowledging that and allowing that to happen, like, I know that that's coming up. So I just want to make sure that we are giving ourselves the space to be able to be honest about that, first with ourselves, and then whatever we choose to share in our community. Because as you always bring us back to, there are other people who are walking through these journeys as well. And we don't have the blueprint, but if we can tell y'all what to look out for up the road, then listen, because we just left from over there and we saw that it's not good. So don't go that way. That is what we strive to do, is to be able to warn you about, the different things that that might be coming up. So having said that, I wanted to ask you two things for our brain field trip today. Um, So the first question that I have is about what's happening in your brain space and with your brain people, because I told you I went back and I watched our first episode, and it was at the top of the year. I was still in Mexico. I believe you were there, and no, you weren't in Atlanta. You were in Tallahassee. You were somewhere. I don't know where the hell you were. You were somewhere.
Oh my God.
Because you need to sit your ass down somewhere. I just need you to understand is what I be saying as somebody's auntie. Will you sit down?
Shut up!
Why is you always on the go? Huh? Jesus, she be making. I don't be knowing where that girl be at. And then she be saying stuff, y'all. I'm about to air my grievances since we here. Then she be saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, I'm just finna pack. Where are you going? Oh yeah, because I was going to girl." And she laughing because she know it's true.
Oh hell no!
So anyway,
You feel better?
I needed some people to witness the hell be going on.
It'd be your old people.
But no, so that was back in January, right? So we were like, January was a lot too. So I'm curious as to where your brain people are now, where like your brain space is now. And then I want to take a trip down memory lane, not like watching things, but like just to talk about some of the things that have happened in the past 3 months.
Well then, so I was in Tallahassee for the first episode. And
were you saying that to be petty?
I was.
I just wanted to get that on the record. Receipts, people.
That's
lie.
fine.
Receipts, no, okay.
Period. Poo. Period. Poo. So, like seeing this journey evolve has been so amazing to see. My brain people are kind of in this space right now where it's like, whoa, one, we have been doing this for 9 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And we are growing our subscriber count. We are growing in the amount of people that are watching live. We are really garnering the attention for this work that we're doing. And it's been great. My brain people, though, feel very distracted. In my current environment, there's like noise that is outside this room, and usually when I'm doing recordings and stuff like that, I'm a little bit more isolated, so I don't hear things. And so my brain is like trying to figure out, well, what is happening out this door right now? To be very transparent, as y'all know that, celebration of life for my auntie is tomorrow. So family is in and out. So there's a lot of activity in my environment. So that's one thing that's happening. But the other thing is just being grateful of seeing the evolution of this journey. Like even my face, like watching how I looked at the first episode and looking at me now, like I am glowing. I just finished crying and I'm still glowing, So that's what I'm thinking about. And that's what my brain people are on right now. What about you?
So you are glowing. I told you when we got on here, I was like, excuse me, lightning popping. We ain't ready. Like,
yes, indeed.
I want to ask you, I'm going to answer you, but I want to ask you 2 things. You had described back then in January, you were saying that your memory person or the memory department, let's just say you were struggling there, but you had mentioned a logistics department. And I was like, ooh, I need to do a job fair. What are your updates on like which departments are open and functioning right now versus which are maybe dormant, or maybe they had to get laid off? I don't really know what the situation is at the Brain Corporation.
So one, my memory department, like we're still working on that. And again, I do think that my memory and the lapse of certain things is trauma responding, is a trauma based response of me not being able to remember certain things. So I do think that that's there. The logistics department is working so hard, but at the beginning and the top of this episode, I was talking about the cuffs of burnout, right? So while the logistics department is like, hey, Bianca, these are all the things that you need to do, and these are the ways in which you can get it done. My body is like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I am trying to pull as best I can, but also maybe I need to change the pace a bit. Maybe I don't need to go as fast as what I was thinking that I needed to do. Maybe I just need to take this one step at a time. And so that has been my journey and my process of literally trying to take this one step at a time. Now there are days where my brain people are on it. We are fired up. I'm motivated, and when I'm motivated, I'm motivated. I am going to get it done. But then there's other times where there's so much other things that are just kind of clouding my motivation, or my body is just tired and fatigued that it just doesn't meet in alignment. But I do want to end up having a corporate meeting with
Mm-hmm.
all of my people that
Mm-hmm.
are working in this brain department, because it's so complex. Like, I'm very intrigued about how my brain works and how I can be as efficient as possible with what I need to get done and my purpose in life. And there were some things that you had suggested as far as, taking a 15-20 minute timer to do an
Oh
activity,
yeah.
taking a break, and then going back. Like, those are the different type of routines that I want to try to feel to see what works best for me,
Mm-hmm.
creating my own path in that, because something has to give. And
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I honor my brain people because they're brilliant, but also my body's tired and I have to go at a certain pace to not burn myself out. And I just am just finding that balance.
I'm happy to hear that you are more aware of the balance, because I feel like there may have been a moment in time where you would have pushed through or tried to push through. So I can appreciate even watching you do the push and pull of it all, of being like, okay, but also reality, and like, okay, but no, I can't, because I know it's a lot that you're carrying and such right now. So interesting. I love that we're going to be able to go back and look at the progression, right? So this is kind of like the quarterly check-in. So
Yeah.
during that time for myself, I described my brain like Wall Street. And I said that it was like a bunch of people just trading and papers flying in the air and just like all kind of shit just going everywhere, just everywhere. And I had mentioned to you that when you mentioned logistics, I was like, I think I need to have a job fair, because I don't feel like I have a logistical department. There ain't nothing logisticizing over here. And what I think happened is, I think I just put all my resources into that. I think every single resource that I had was like, we need to get the logistics of life together. Okay. So interestingly enough, my brain is not as busy as it was then, because then in Mexico, all I was trying to do was get back here to Colombia. That's what every single day was about. How can I get back to Colombia? So I don't feel like there's a constant like wheel turning, and it actually feels more quiet and relaxed, almost to the point that I be having to check, is anybody here? Like, did y'all give yourself
Mm.
a vacation and I didn't know? Does somebody want to communicate with me about what is going on? So there are days that I am very much capable, able, all cylinders firing.
Hmm.
I'm also noticing that those times are trending earlier, which is okay. I'm still not going to really be talking before 11 a.m., but also I told the students that today. I was like, hey, let me tell you something. I'm not a morning person. You understand me? I don't want to. I'm not. If you going to have to pay me a hefty dollar for me to show up somewhere before 9 a.m., I ain't doing it. So that, like, the hours have not necessarily shifted that much, maybe like by an hour or two. But what I've been noticing is that the people that are there, I feel like my let's call morning 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Let's call that morning, that they have been more productive and more able to get me started, almost to the point where I have been forgetting to take my medicine. And then I started counting months because, I don't want to be on it anyway, right? But also you got to be responsible taking yourself off of it, right? So I was like, I was talking to Dr. Poppy actually, and he says 6 months is when, like, that's the time that you should give it. So it's right about that time. And I'm almost like, well, maybe I just start taking myself off, but also I'm kind of nervous about it because it's almost like I can't trust that I feel this good, or I can't trust that I feel like, I'm like, what if something happens and then I need it again? Like, it is the weirdest feeling. So it's made me that much more, like, adamant about my morning routines and stuff, or my start the day routines, because I feel like I definitely have to have those things in place in order for me to be able to function. Which, again, logistics, right, is like, okay, let's think this through. Like, this is what we did, step number 1, step number 2, right? So everything is kind of going towards that, but it's because I'm in this place where it's like, okay, I think I'm okay and better, but I feel like I've thought that before, and then something happens, and then I wound up being burnt out, a burnt out adjacent. Like, how many times my psychologist got to be like, ma'am, because also, like, she's like, go do the things and have fun and, like, all the things, okay, and also I be tired after that.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot out of me, so I don't know. It's a very, I have a lot of questions about it right now. But I can tell that my brain is functioning differently than it was 3 months ago. I can tell my speech pattern is different. I can tell just my ability to wake up in the morning is different. It's been it's been interesting to have the realization, because I feel like it's like, oh, so what day did that happen? And I don't necessarily know per se. But I acknowledge that it has happened, if you will.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your social media detox, because you didn't really share. You shared, like, while you were going through it, but now that it's done and you are back on social media, what's happening?
I'm back on social media-ish.
Okay.
So I have not installed the apps back on my phone. And I think that's going to be a hard boundary for me. I don't think that I need the apps on my phone. I think the desktop version will work just fine. I'm glad that you said something, because I did forget to uplift how wild some of y'all are on social media. What is happening on
What
these social
happened?
when I tell you there's a bunch of beefs that's happening, diss tracks going left and
Oh,
right,
because you
people
missed
fighting.
all of that.
I missed it
I'm
all.
like, what are you talking about?
So I'm like catching up to, like, the stuff that's been happening for the past couple of weeks. And I'm like, whoa. Okay, I can't go down this rabbit hole. I only have so many hours in a day.
It
And
is a long rabbit hole.
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot happening.
And I didn't tell you about none of it, because I would be wanting to send you stuff. And I was like, she's not on here, so let me not send it. Let me not infiltrate her space. Like, she's having peace right now. That's funny. So
and
it's
that's
been
why I'm going back to my
overwhelming.
piece. That's why I went back to my piece. That's why I
Yeah.
was like, nope, I'm not installing this stuff on my phone. Absolutely. No. Mm-mm. Not doing it.
Understood.
I scrolled, looked at some things I probably shouldn't have looked at too, and was like, absolutely not. Okay, what we are not going to do is to continue this same thing on this platform
Yeah.
where some of y'all just out here delusional, just out here lying, just not operating out the three keys, and it's a trigger for me now. Like
Yeah.
it's a trigger.
It
I
do.
don't
It
want
be
it.
sending you.
And I just no. So I am protecting peace, choosing peace. Like I said at the very beginning, I'm choosing peace. And so while I will use social media for the advancement of elevating voices and the things that I need to do business wise for pleasure, there is no pleasure there at all. I get no pleasure from looking at
So
some of the stuff that be on social media anymore. I'm
did
not interested.
you I know you were doing with your detox, you were also like unfollowing and like curating your feed. There you haven't been able to curate it in a way where it doesn't trigger you?
So it's so much to still sort through that in that process I didn't complete it. There are still thousands of accounts that I need to look through, and
Gotcha.
then I was like, you know what? I'm
Just
not
don't come
doing it.
over there. She was like, I just won't come over
I'm
there.
good.
Understood.
I'm good. So if
Understood.
anything, I'll create a separate space just for my own enjoyment, right? But and even in that, I was like, for what? I'm good to consume content. I'm good. I am good. People
Well, you
send me
know,
enough TikToks and Instagrams and all that. I'm good.
it's funny because it is your work, but to your point, you're like you don't find enjoyment in it. But it's also interesting because that's why I started minding my black ass business because Kimberlyn J. It was just so much happening in that world that I was like, I can't come over here. Like this is just too much. So I literally started from scratch over on minding my black ass business, and I was just like, I'll just be here. Like, so the types of things that I see, they are so elevating and puppies and rainbows and unicorns and jokes and like neurodivergence, like the types of things that I consume over there now are feeding my soul. But I hear you to the point of having to sift through so much. And I wanted to offer in our last few minutes here a tool that I've been thinking about creating because I feel like both of us could benefit from this. And I feel like it should be called, and y'all might be able to benefit from it too. I really do. All of us probably could. It's called an application for access.
Mm.
Uh-huh. And it because I feel like we need a better filtering system because one of the things I noticed about myself is I very much give people the benefit of the doubt.
Mhm.
So I walk into situations giving people the benefit of the doubt that they view the world from an equitable place. And what I continue to discover that I already know is that that is not the truth. But it makes me feel like crap to approach people with skepticism. Like I don't like how that feels to be like, I don't know you. You ain't, I can't trust you until you prove. Like I believe the opposite. I believe in giving people a certain amount of trust and then what you do with that, it can erode very quickly or not. So I just don't believe in that deficit model of you do start with nothing and you have to earn. So what I was saying was, I feel like we need a better way to filter through to be
Mm.
able, like the people that are trying to come in, because we got these circles of access, I'm talking about that. So for somebody that's trying to come in a different level. So some of the questions that I have here are like, what do these words mean to you? Transparency, accountability, and integrity, right? Because
Mm.
what we know is that everybody don't really know what that means. You
That is
see,
correct.
and they be using words that don't be meaning what the words really be meaning, even though words be having literal meanings. You
That is
see.
correct.
So the next question is, what is your relationship with words?
Mm.
Uh-huh. Because I feel like somebody who has a good relationship with words, they're gonna really like be talking about it. like, oh man, words, and they paint pictures, and they, do things, and they can hurt and they can heal, and words have power, and those types of things, versus somebody that's like, what relationship with words? What? That's not somebody that needs to have access. You understand what I'm saying? Or asking them something like, what makes you extraordinary, right? Because again, even though I be trying to be regular, we not regular. We just not. We not. So just be not. So because we not, and because we know that we not, then that means I need you to know that you not regular too. Because if you think you regular, and then you gonna be coming your regular self over here with people who are extraordinary, then it don't work, because
we're not in alignment.
We're not in alignment.
Yeah.
We're not in. So I feel like that is another worthy question. So what I'm wondering is, are there any other things that you might want to add to the application for access? And those of you who are watching this now or later, also feel free to drop you some questions up in there, because I really feel like we need to get this together. So do you have anything that comes bubbling up in your spirit?
I would say, how do you resolve conflict? That's powerful. When faced with obstacles, what is the one thing that you turn to? That's really good. There's a question in the comments. Is peace a priority for you?
Ooh.
I just want to shout with just that one. That's an excellent question.
I'm writing these down. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Or give me some examples of how you prioritize peace.
There you go.
Yeah. Give me a few working examples.
Give me some examples.
So I can understand what that means. That's good. That's good, Ashley. Thank you, girl.
Yeah.
So y'all keep those coming, because this is the thing. I am really over like having to kick people out. Like, I want to have people around me that are going to challenge me and are going to hold me accountable, but also that I don't have to worry about my emotional and mental safety. And what I'm starting to realize, because I really don't be in the real world for real, like how you like them apps could stay over there on that computer, and I'll tap into that fake internet in a moment, but I'm in the real world right now. I try not to be out there, but whenever I go out there, I'm reminded that there are people that exist who are so far out of alignment with the way that we view the world, like they're real. Like it be a real, like, I see dead people, like type of moment for me, because in my actual world, those types of people don't exist. So then when I meet them out here, either physically or virtually, it's shocking to my system, because I'd be like, ooh, you really believe that? Oh my. Oh boy. So I really feel like this application for access is going to be helpful, because I'm at the point right now, you're going to have to fill this out before you get my phone number. Okay. And I mean that on every level. I'm talking romantically, business, want to have coffee with, fill out, let me send you this link. What's your email address? Let me send you this link. Fill out this form. Okay. So that I need to know what you think, what you thinking about. Okay. Because I'm sick of it. You understand? I'm sick of it. All right.
Yeah.
No. Haven't said that.
Intentional access only.
That's it. That's it. That is it. So I know it's going to take some work, but also I think that it is a real life opportunity to be able to choose peace. Bianca said we're supposed to choose peace, right? So the best way
choose peace
is to make sure I ain't got chaos in my orbit.
Amen.
Okay. Now,
amen.
We here every 2 weeks, y'all, and we need to make sure that y'all are connected with us in the places and the spaces that we are. All right. You never know what you're gonna get. It might be an absolutely knee slapping time, you know, my shit.
You had to slap your knee like that, though, sis.
Oh, hell no.
Yes, indeed.
I'm Cowboy Carter. I couldn't
say
even
you was
slap
going
it
to the
like I
rodeo with
wanted
that
to.
slap.
Oh yeah, baby, we're in here. Okay.
Lord.
So it might be a knee slapper time. We also might be in here crying. Like you just never know. But what we can promise you is that we is gonna keep it real. And we is gonna talk about the things that are on our hearts, minds, and spirits, because together we really are committed to doing the work to heal. So make sure that y'all connect with us on IG, on TikTok, YouTube, Patreon, Facebook. Heal that shit on all platforms. As soon as things start to level out, that we'll start with Patreon and really starting to put out that content and all that kind of stuff. Right now, you get to enjoy everything for the free ski. But we do be needing to have some conversations that we need to, you know, just kind of put over there. And also, we have been planning a lot of opportunities for you all to have a chance to work with us. So we've been talking about doing what we call think tanks. So opportunity for you to bring your different ideas and have thought partners from different industries to really be able to help you develop that idea. So that's something that's coming. And of course, it will always come out to the Patreon first. And if there are any coupon codes and all that kind of stuff, that will live over there. But if you've been asking yourself, like, did they really know what they talking about? Sound like they've been out here doing the things. We are going to be having those opportunities soon for you all to work with us directly. Okay. So again, heal that shit on all platforms. Bianca, where can people find you, ma'am?
They can find me on my website at www.biancagoolsby.com.
Cool. And I am over on mindingmyblackAssBusiness.com and Minding My Black Ass Business on all platforms. Tomorrow, I will be recording a bonus episode with my cousin, a bonus episode of So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. That is going to be airing over on Minding My Black Ass Business. We're going to be talking about the Amanda Seals interview because it was so much to unpack, and the neurodivergence of it all is we done had to watch it a couple times and take notes and such. So we gonna do a critical analysis tomorrow. Yeah. So we'll schedule that later on tonight, and then so that'll be on YouTube tomorrow, and then we'll be back here in 2 weeks. So what is that? May 22nd, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yep. So we'll be back here May 22nd. Conversation doesn't stop here. Y'all make sure y'all keep commenting, like, share, subscribe, notification bell, all the things that the YouTubers are supposed to say. Tell somebody about this. Send them the link. Be like, girl, sir, y'all need to tune in, honey, all of that. Send it to your friends. Send it to your enemies. Send it to everybody, because we really need to heal our shit so that we don't harm others. So having said that, we love y'all so much.
We love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yes, indeed.